Today is Tuesday, November 19th, and we have new visitors in the agriculture barn at school today. We have cute little fluffy puppies that I will show you at the end of this fact. And today's agricultural fact of the day, as promised, is beginning to investigate the rules of parliamentary procedure. This information does jump around a little bit because I was throwing together this fact as my introduction to agriculture class was coming into my classroom, and they already know the very basics of parliamentary procedure. So today's ag fact: a second is needed in order for a main motion to be debated so that the maker of the main motion does not just run away with the meeting. The main motion is used to bring up new business, and a second is needed to ensure that somebody else in the assembly would like to discuss it. The person that seconds that motion does not actually have to be in favor of that motion. They just have to think it's worth discussing. If a main motion does not receive a second, that's it. It just goes nowhere. And there are a lot of other motions that we will talk about that also require a second. But the main motion is how we bring up new business. You can't just jump out of your seat and say, hey, I think we should do this because this is a great idea. As some of you have commented on my videos, Robert's Rules of Order is what is commonly used in order to ensure fairness in meetings. Now, I've never taken the time to read the history of Robert's Rules of Order. I know that in the front of the copy, let me go get mine. This is a fancy spiral bound edition that was gifted to me while I was at the National FFA Convention this year. I have not yet started coaching my parliamentary procedure team for this year, but now that I'm back from the Albany Leadership Conference that occurred for the youth in agriculture in New York State, I will be starting parliamentary procedure as well as conduct of chapter meeting. Those kids' first contests are on February 8th. Now, Robert's Rules of Order has changed over the years. I don't think that they make major changes. It's just simple wording things about how meetings should be run, or how certain business should be handled, or how things should be stated. Now, up here at the top, it does say the only current authorized edition of the classic work on parliamentary procedure, and this is the 12th edition. Today's main takeaways: 1, Robert's Rules of Order is basically the Bible for anyone interested in parliamentary procedure or actually running meetings correctly. Number 2, the main motion is what is needed in order to bring up new business. And 3, a second is needed on many motions, the main motion being one of them. And the reason that a second is needed is so that the maker of that motion, or if one person gets on a soapbox, they can't just run away with that meeting. Let's say something gets brought up. It's decided at the previous meeting that this is not going to go anywhere. Somebody moves to postpone that matter indefinitely, which means they're unaliving it. They want to get rid of it. It's a horrible idea. They don't want to waste any more time on it. They pass postpone indefinitely. So that motion is killed. And then at the next meeting, that same person brings up the same topic because they want this to get accomplished. If nobody seconds that, it goes nowhere. So you really can't have somebody just running away with the meeting on whatever it is that they feel passionate about accomplishing. Now, just like many things as an agricultural educator, I am not going to say that I'm a professional on this explicitly, but just like I say in a lot of other classes, I know enough to be dangerous. I've got a pretty decent understanding because, again, I've taught this stuff to my introduction to agriculture classes for the last 6 years at least. And I teach it every single quarter, every 10 weeks, to my 8th grade agriculture and natural resources class, because if I don't teach it, they're not getting it. And I also have coached many conduct of chapter meeting teams. But I know that some people are going to say that I'm crazy and that I shouldn't be educating others on this because I'm just going to increase the competition against myself within the state. But I feel that this is beneficial because there is not enough education about it, and they don't educate on it. I was a 4-H member and an officer of my club for many years growing up, and I had no idea what parliamentary procedure was until I became an ag teacher. Anyway, I'm off that soapbox. Time for cute, fluffy puppies. So one of my students has a livestock guardian dog that had oopsie babies, and they are now 8 weeks old, and there are 8 of them in here. I believe there were 9 in the litter, and they are here for their last boosters for today. That's the activity that my advanced vet science class is doing today. So here are the cute little bundles of fluff. If anyone is looking for a new addition to their home and in the Western New York region, there are some available. I will caution you, these will become larger sized dogs because the mom is a large dog and she's part Great Pyrenees. The dad, I believe, was Heeler Australian Shepherd Cross. I do say to my students that these are a little bit of an instinctual nightmare when it comes to trying to actually utilize these puppies for any type of work on a farm, because your livestock guardian portion wants to guard things and protect them. And then you have the herding side of it, which would like to chase things around and herd them up, and not a good mix. I do know people that have these dogs and have no issues with them, but it is a little bit challenging to be able to entrust them with the well-being of your livestock when your back is turned. One more thing, these panels that they are in, I love these panels. I think I have 2 sets for this barn specifically. I have like 6 sets at home. I keep many different animals in them, but this was perfect for the puppies. We had to throw something together quickly, and this has worked great. So I will put the affiliate link in my tree. So if you are interested in potentially purchasing your own, that will be there. And if you're curious or have questions, let me know. There is the ability to purchase these used or in not necessarily perfect condition, which helps lower the price of them. So some of the sets that I have at home, I purchased that way because I didn't really feel like paying $120 for a set of 8 of these panels, and I don't need them to be perfect as long as they keep animals inside of them.